In this video right here, I'm gonna show you how to identify hot selling products for Facebook Marketplace, okay? Because a lot of us, when we get into it, you go after like the velocity and the volume approach, which works very, very well as a beginner because typically speaking, the more you list, the greater likelihood you obviously have, to sell and find winning products, right? It makes sense logically. But that said, once you kind of hit that threshold and you get really, really sick of it, maybe it's, a couple days, maybe it's a couple weeks, and you're sick of just listing and listing and listing, only to find that the majority of your listings don't get a lot of views, barely any visibility, and obviously the majority of them don't ever sell. Instead, what if you could then identify ahead of time hot selling products that have a proven track record that you could then go ahead and list only hot selling products that have a greater likelihood to sell and get visibility on Facebook Marketplace? Well, you'd do a lot better, you'd make a lot more sales and a lot more money in a lot less time, right? And so that's exactly what this video is going to show you how to do. If you guys do like this video though, give it a thumbs up. I genuinely appreciate it. If this gets enough likes, I'll drop the software tutorial of this. So this video right here is the manual free method for those of you that don't want to spend money on the software. And then obviously in the next video, I'll drop the software video. So if you do want to spend a little bit of money, it will take your time out of the equation. I can't speak today. It will take your time out of the equation even more, okay? So this video is gonna help a lot of the beginners out there find hot selling products. I really hope you like it. And this is a lecture taken directly from my Dropship Pro course, which you can always find linked directly in the description, okay? All right, so now's the fun part, right? Now we're gonna do some Facebook Marketplace product research, and what we're basically going to do so that we're not just spending an exorbitant amount of time listing all sorts of products and listing hundreds of products only to find out like 90% of them get practically no views, 95% of them, don't ever sell, and only a small number of them sell. You still want to, I want to hit this home, okay? You still want to spend a lot of effort, spend a lot of time, and list a lot of products. That's how you're going to make the most money. Now, there's no specific correlation between like the number of listings that you have and how much money and how much profit you make. But typically speaking, if you list more quality listings with more in-demand products like I'm about to show you, and then you scale it up, not just with the quality like I'm about to show you, but also the quantity, and you list more of these products, if both of those things are true, and you're not just listing like hundreds or thousands of terrible products, but you're listing hundreds and thousands of high quality, high in demand products like I'm going to cover right here, that's when the big money comes into play. That's when you'll start seeing real good results. And that's when you'll get the results that you're looking for. Okay. So basically, instead of spending a lot of time listing random products only to find out which ones work and which ones don't, right? Instead, what we want to do is we want to reverse engineer the best selling listings on other marketplaces that are also being drop shipped, right? So we need to do a little bit of reverse sourcing to actually do that. This is also known as sniping in the industry. I'm just gonna call it reverse sourcing because that's how I kind of look at it, okay? I also went ahead and I outlined about 12 of the most commonly used retail sites. You can use any retail site. You can use any retail site. You can use any site to dropship, obviously, that you trust that initiates the shipment within 3 days. But obviously with Z-Drop, like we covered, there's only specific sites that integrate so far. They're adding new sites every single day. But so you probably are going to want to stick to those, but you can literally use anyone. And so these are just like a starter list to kind of cover private label brands of these actual websites that you might source from. And you're going to search eBay, like I'm going to show you here in a second, for these private label brands to find out who's drop shipping those products, right? It's okay if you don't get what I'm saying yet. I will explain it to you more in depth. But basically, for example, Walmart, one of Walmart's brands is Mainstays, okay? And so if we search eBay for Mainstays, Walmart's not going to be selling Mainstays products on eBay because they sell their own private label products on Walmart.com, right? So anybody selling Mainstays is either selling a used Mainstays product or drop shipping a new product from Walmart onto eBay, okay? And then we can obviously find those specific people, look at their stores, find their best-selling products, and list those on Facebook Marketplace. Now, every single product, just because they're selling extremely well on eBay, does not necessarily mean that they will also sell extremely well on Facebook, but it gives it a much, much, much higher likelihood that they will, okay? So that's the reverse engineering in a nutshell. Here's a starter list just to kind of get you off of like some of the top ones and their private label brands. Now, for example, Amazon has dozens, I think, probably hundreds of private label brands that they own. But if you want to, you can obviously search eBay for some of these top private label brands that I've listed here as a starter list. Anything like inside of the quotation marks is one. So like you'll see Home Depot has 2, Walmart has 2. There's only Amazon Basics listed here for Amazon, but they have a bunch. Kmart and Sears is Craftsman. You get the picture, right? So anything in between the quotation marks is the private label brand that you want to search. If you're looking for a website that is not on this specific starter list, all you need to do is Google or search Wikipedia for, blank, whatever the website is, private label brand, and then find it, right? Reverse search that on eBay again, and then find sellers that are dropshipping that brand, reverse engineer their best listings onto Facebook, okay? So if none of that makes sense, right? Hopefully it does. Rewind it, watch that again so that you understand it, or watch this again, the beginning of this after, so you kind of get what I'm saying. So for example, one of the ones that's the easiest that I do not recommend that you sell, because everybody starts here. If you're brand new and you're just looking for some easy ways to get in the door, then go with mainstays, okay? Everybody starts with mainstays, or at least most people do. So I'm going to use it as an example because it's an easy one to kind of show you, okay? But you can do this with any private label brand from any of these websites. Anybody selling these, like I said, on eBay or any other site, I'm just going to use eBay as an example here, but anybody selling this on Amazon, anybody selling this on Poshmark, Mercari, or any other place, or Etsy, for example, is probably also drop shipping that, not every single time, but in a lot of times, okay? So I'm going to find Walmart products. So we're going to search the private label brand mainstays, which is Walmart private label, on eBay, okay? And the reason I'm going to use eBay in these examples and in the example in the next lecture is because the software that I recommend that you use, which is Zeek Analytics, uses eBay and uses it extremely well. I'm going to show you that in the next lecture. I highly recommend that you buy that software. It's so worth it. It's going to make you a lot more money. It's going to pay for itself hundreds of times over. But that's why I'm creating a manual sourcing tutorial. Without the software here, it's going to take you a little bit more time for those of you that don't want to spend the money. But again, I highly recommend that you do. But watch this regardless if you plan on going with the software, because this will help you brush up, and then we'll kind of sharpen the end of your sword and make sure that you master it in the next lecture, okay? So first step is we found the private label brand for Walmart, right? We want to find drop shipping Walmart products on eBay, okay? So we search eBay for mainstays. Now, what we're looking for is there's going to be one of 2 listings here with mainstays on eBay, right? We know Walmart is not selling mainstays products on eBay. They only sell them on walmart.com. So that means anything that's a mainstays product on eBay, for example, is either going to be a used product that somebody's reselling, or it's going to be a new product that somebody's literally listing on eBay and drop shipping from Walmart to eBay customers, okay? So you're going to want to look for like white background images. This is a perfect example of one. It has 35 sold. So I'm going to open this one up just to kind of show you. But, a lot of people that are doing this, another kind of little caveat is someone's going to search mainstays, and obviously I'm just creating this course, so it's not saturated yet. And chances are there's so many different brands, there's so many different suppliers, especially when you move into wholesale and other things, that like it's not going to be saturated anytime soon. But if you're searching mainstays, don't go with like the first 5 to 10, because everybody searches those. So I'm just using this as an example, but scroll down and keep going all the way to the bottom, or continue after that to find good sellers that nobody else is really seeing. So you can find other examples of products, right? Because while this popped up, this very well could be a good drop shipping product, but we want this seller that's selling this as other top products, okay? So what I did is I clicked on this, and I'm going to go to this seller, okay? And what we want to find is we want to find a seller that has a lot of feedback that's selling products, because chances are they have a lot of feedback because they've been doing this for a while. They're also going to have other more successful listings, and we can find whatever their dropship products are. 284 is a fairly new seller, so this isn't a great example of one. But just to show you, you can also click the sold and see how recently they've sold. So this is sold 2 days ago. This sold 3 times 2 days ago. It also sold 1 time 3 days ago. But it's been selling a lot in April. It sold a little bit in March. It also sold a lot in February. Okay, so you can see the sales history. But again, I recommend that you also you use the software, because the software will do all this in the blink of an eye for you, and you'll be able to find the specific hot selling products a lot faster. It's a game changer. So let's just kind of click around till we find a good seller and we can kind of see their store. This is 3 feedback on this seller, so not the best example. let's go to the first seller, 451 sold on this listing. So chances are this is a good seller, and it is a pretty good seller. 7,633 feedback, okay, with over 1,000 sold. So this bookshelf is selling a lot. So if we clicked on the sold, one's literally sold today, one sold yesterday, one sold the day before, three sold the day before that, four sold the day before that, five sold the day before that. And so this is a very, very, very hot selling product right now. I'm actually going to kind of drag that over because I'm going to sell that. By the time you're watching this, it's probably not going to be a hot selling product anymore, but you get the picture, okay? So let me reopen that because I'm actually going to list that myself next. So what I basically want to do is, we know that this is a hot selling product. I want to list this, right? But more importantly, I want to list this, but I also want to find out other hot selling dropshipping products from this seller, because chances are this seller is also dropshipping a lot of other products, and chances are this is being dropshipped onto eBay from Walmart, right? So I'm going to go and click on this seller store, and then you can go to visit their store to kind of see all their listings, or just go to items for sale. And so here's where the software really kind of makes its money and comes into play. Right here, if you're dealing with like a seller that's selling a lot in dropshipping, typically they're going to have hundreds, if not thousands of listings. This person doesn't have that many listings, but a lot of the times you're going to see like somebody with like hundreds or thousands of listings, and they're just doing the volume game and making a lot of sales, right? And so they could have like 20, 50 pages of things. And if you're not, chances are like their top like 5 products, or their top 10 products, or their top 20 or 30 products, all selling wise, are not going to be on the first page most of the time, right? And so it's going to take you a lot of time to sort through manually and find their top selling products. You could find good selling products. Look, 101 sold, that's probably a good selling product. 150 sold, again, probably a good selling product. And I actually sell this myself, so I know this is a good selling product. 49 sold, decent product, right? 177 sold, decent product, right? And so this is an example of how you can manually source. You're going to look for the sold or a lot of watchers. A lot sold recently, or a lot of watchers, okay? But the software will do all that for you, so that's why I recommend that you go with the software, and I'll show you how to do that in the next lecture. So as an example, let's do this copper pot right here. Large copper plastic planters, outdoor garden flower pots, and window box porch and yard, okay? So we're going to click on this listing from the seller, and chances are that they are probably drop shipping most of their listings from Walmart, because drop shippers kind of get stuck in their ways a little bit, right? They kind of, chances are if they're drop shipping one product from Walmart, and we already identified that they were, that's how we found them, right? Then a large majority, if not all of their dropshipping listings are probably from Walmart, although some mix and match, but typically they don't, right? So if you cannot search and find this, and I'm going to show you how to find it in a second, if you cannot search and find this, you can simply search and find and add the keyword Walmart, and then chances are it will pop up, right? So there's 3 ways that you can search for a listing to try to find out. You could also, if you can't find it, just list this product with the software, right? So like you copy it to Poshmark, Mercari, Etsy, or Facebook. So obviously the majority of you are focused on Facebook, but later on in the course, I'm going to show you and talk about how you can also cross post and list to other places to make more money. So you could directly just drop ship this from eBay, although you'd make more of a markup if you actually found the supplier, because this person is also drop shipping it. So chances are they're marking it up themselves. So you can mark it up double if you just found the supplier. So you're going to copy the title, right? That's the easiest way to do it, and Google the title to try to find the original listing, right? If you can't find that, then you want to search the title and add Walmart in there as well, because chances are, again, like I said, since we found them using mainstays in Walmart, they're also probably drop shipping this from Walmart as well. Now, you can also download the pictures and reverse search the pictures on Google, or you can also download the description and try to search the description, although that doesn't always work as well, okay? So I'm simply just going to paste this into Google and try to find this listing. Chances are it's a Walmart listing, but you never know. So what does it look like? It looks like the planner with these different planners right here. It could be an Amazon listing. It could be a Walmart listing. It also could just be this right here. That kind of looks like it from Home Depot. Again, like I said in the beginning, most new sellers either drop ship from Home Depot, Target, Walmart, Amazon. You get the picture. It's generally speaking one of those. So this actually kind of looks like the listing right there. It's $8.98. This is a 20 inch, so that's a little bit wider. This one's a 14.5 inch. This is probably 14.5 inches. If we just check for it, it's 14.5 inches. So there we go. We just found our listing, right? Does it have the same pictures? It kind of does. 12 by 14.5. Chances are this is the same listing, although it does have other pictures. Yep, 12 by 14.5. So chances are they're probably listing this from Home Depot. And so you can literally go to the Home Depot listing, copy it to Z-Drop, and then literally it will paste it into Facebook for you, right? And then you just found the supplier. The key here is you always want to add it to the cart so that you can kind of see the taxes that you might have. If you're tax exempt, that doesn't really matter, as well as the delivery. So ship to home, you also want to calculate the delivery unless you're using like Amazon Prime or the Walmart Prime thing as well. So always add it to the cart just to make sure that you know your fees and your total payment. And then if you don't want to do that, what you can do is estimate the fees. For example, if something's under $35 on Walmart, then chances are you're paying $5.99 shipping, unless the seller has added free shipping onto that listing, which is usually not the case. So, for example, if something sells for like $25 on Walmart, then you can add a $6 to that. So you're paying $25 plus $6, which ends up being $31. But then you also have to take the taxes on the $25 that if you're paying sales tax, right? And so different states have different sales tax, but I believe the highest sales tax is like 9%. So if you just take 10% of whatever it is and assume that sales tax, you're going to be safe, right? Because 10%, it can't be higher than 9. 10% is easy to calculate because you can just 10% of $8.98 is like, I don't even know what that is. It's 89 cents, right? Or something like that. 10% of 100 is going to be $10. 10% of 50 is going to be $5. 10% of 44 is going to be like $4.40, right? So it's easier to calculate $10 or 10% of it. So that's just a little tip right there, right? So we found this listing and we can drop ship this. They're marking it up to $12.99 from about $8.98. Chances are this also probably sells on a different one because it has other pictures. It probably sells on like a different website as well. Same product. But for lack of like, for demonstration purposes and not wasting your time, we'll find another one just to kind of show you how to find another one. Okay. So here's a pack of Snap-in white gutter guards. Let's try to use this one. It's sold 201 times. So chances are it's a good listing. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to find the supplier. So we're going to copy this in there. And before we actually look for this, like you already found it right here. It's probably Home Depot again. So 3 feet, 3 feet units. Does this have the same pictures? It does have different pictures, although this is also a 3 feet Snap-in gutter white guard. Snap-in gutter white guard, there's the same picture. So this seller's like doing something weird with their actual pictures where they're adding other pictures in, but that's probably what it is right there. Pack of Snap-in white gutter guards, screens, total length. Oh, that's why they're doing it. They're listing multiple different ones, but like the 3 feet unit is probably the one from Home Depot right here. And it probably is. But like chances are if you couldn't find this listing, right, like what you could do is if you assumed, obviously this is a bad example because we went from Walmart sourcing to Home Depot now, right? But if like typically all of them were Walmart, I'll give you another example of how you can find this here in a second, then and you can't find this for whatever reason, then you just add Walmart as the keyword to the end and chances are then it would pop up right there, right? So like frost vinyl right there is a different one. But let me show you a different example of how to reverse source. Let me find like a bed frame. This is probably Walmart right here, right? This one's not like, I just want to show you an example of how to find this because this one's like probably, well, actually this is a good one right here. So let's just use this one. I guarantee you this, they're drop shipping this from Walmart. So 71-inch tall adjustable 5-shelf bookcase. We're going to copy the title. We know that this is selling a lot, right? So we're going to copy the title and I guarantee you this looks like a Mainstays Walmart thing. And this is actually the one we found. So look, 71-inch 5-shelf bookcase. Is that the same one? It probably is. Let's check. And it is. I think that's the picture right there. That's the picture. That's the picture. Yep, same exact picture. We found the listing. They're marking this up to $50. They're also listing all the different colors here, but obviously on Facebook, you don't have options to like list different variations yet. So you want to pick one. If this is the listing picture, I'd probably stick with this one. So there it is right there. It's free delivery. Always check that you're getting free delivery or add it to the cart to see what you're going to pay, right? Assume that you're always going to pay tax on this unless you're tax exempt. So right now it's $40 right now. So you can assume that you can pay $4 in taxes. It's also over $35. So you're paying shipping. So your total cost on this listing is about $44, right? With tax and everything else, right? $44, they're marking it up to $49 right here. They're making a $5 markup. Obviously the margin is going to be higher on Facebook because it's 5% fee and it's not as competitive. eBay is a very competitive platform. That's why you can't take as much as a margin. But you could honestly, this is selling for $44 with tax, right? You can mark this up to like, honestly, like, I wouldn't get greedy. You can mark this up to 50, you can mark it up to 60. You probably get away with marking this up to like $80 if you really wanted to. Although you don't always want to go for the home run, because the lower profit margins you take, the higher sales velocity and the more sales you'll make, essentially, right? But that's basically reverse sourcing. And so now we know that this person, this seller who's selling well, clearly all of their listings, or at the very least, most of them in their store, are probably going to be drop shipped. And you can pretty much tell that from all the white background images here. So you know that like we want to find their top selling products there and basically list all their top selling products that are all selling well on Facebook, right? Now, let's say we list like 50 of their top selling products and we spend like an hour doing that. Well, and it's not difficult, obviously, if you're using like Z-Drop, it's super easy. Like just copy it to Facebook and then paste it in there. Bam, switch the price and you're good to go. It's not going to take you very long. And then like all 50 are not going to be home runs, obviously, but doing this and reverse sourcing and reverse engineering their top selling products is going to give you the highest likelihood that they do sell. So maybe 20 of them really pick up steam and eventually sell. Maybe like 2 to 3 of them sell really, really well right off the bat from you. And maybe like one is like a home run where like, bam, you're getting a lot of sales right away, right? It's always going to depend product to product. It's always going to depend on like a number of things, like your listing, how well your description is, how well your pictures convert, all sorts of things, the tags that you're using, and mainly like your price point as well. Like what are you willing to take compared to other listings on the internet for this? Because obviously this is being sold on eBay. This is being sold on Walmart, right? So you're essentially competing with other listings, even though most buyers won't actually do their homework and check. But that's basically how you reverse source manually